ॐ श्री महागणपतये नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ श्री तपोवनशिष्याय नमः। हरि ओम. We are doing Chandogya Upanishad, chapter 6. We have completed so far 3 sections of Chandogya. We are now in the 4th section of the 6th chapter of Chandogya. Very briefly, so far, it's started saying that the whole cosmos, including Jiva and Ishvara and Jagat, all the 3 factors, they all merge, they all start from one common reality. That is Sat and Chit. Existence, consciousness. And then what is this world? The answer is, it is just an appearance as names and forms within that. But our attention is on the names and forms. Consequently, we do not know there is a reality behind these appearances. So names and forms are nothing but they are in our mind. That's why no two people see the world the same way. No two species look at the world the same way. So drusti srusti, as we see, so is the world. It's not the other way. The world has not created us. We, together with the world, appear in consciousness. Depending upon our capacity, however you use our intellect, how we are programmed, that's the way we see. So also the animals, based upon their capacity and their mind and intellectual capacity. That's all it is. So to be able to see ourselves as we are is liberation. Because all the causes for our suffering, lack of peace, insecurity, and fear are because we thinking ourselves as though we are limited. We are viewing ourselves through our mind, through the names and forms. Now, Shastra is saying names and forms have no separate reality. They depend upon Brahman. That is our true self. Okay. Now, how do we realize this? Upanishad gives a process. The process is, they say the world is nothing but a combination of 3 subtle elements. Tejas means elemental fire, apaha, elemental water, and prithvi, elemental earth. 3 subtle elements. They came from Brahman. So Brahman himself has projected them within him. From him, he created an appearance in him, which is fire element. Then using the fire element and Brahman, the water element came. And then water element and Brahman created the appearance of Prithvi element. Now, this is called, actually, from the point of view of Brahman, these are just images in him. Just like a screen on the, let's say a movie on a screen only reality. From the point of view of Brahman, these appearances only have no reality. But for the purpose of us, this process is explained because we are caught up in those. So they are trying to bring our attention to what we are caught up in and then work our mind backwards. This is called Adhyaropa Apavada. So what is appearing is not real. What is the support is the real. But because we are caught up in appearances, they have to first explain to you from the point of view of the Brahman, these are just reflections. They are not real. The reality is always Brahman. This is called Adhyaropa. Superimposing something on you who are Brahman. So now you are caught up in the world. So the Tatpada Vichara is called Tatpada Vichara. That is what is going on. So they say there are three elements, just like proton, neutron, electron. In the minds of scientists, physicists, they say all the world is made of protons, neutrons, electrons. In Vedanta Shastra, they are made of fire element, water element, elemental, not water. It's not what we gross water, not the water we see, and then elemental Prithvi. So this concept scientists do not have. I mean, an example I tell you. This elemental, Brahman is the cause. The elemental three, so this is called subtle elements. The subtle elements, they are the subtle body we have, in which create oscillations and then support the gross body. That is the mind, intellect, antakarana, prana, etc., indriyas and all that. According to Shastra, in our heart, mind is there. Truth. Not here. That's what scientists think. That's matter. The way says we're not matter. Then from there, by process called triplication, the gross world has come out. Okay, so that was explained in section 3. How the whole world is superimposed on Brahman, just like all matter is nothing but a combination of electrons, protons, and neutrons. It is grassified, it's a process of triplication, where the elemental subtle elements combine to create the gross world. So gross fire is 50% elemental fire, 25% elemental water, and 25% elemental earth. So the gross fire has all the three in it. Now, same thing with water. Water is 50% subtle water and then 25% subtle fire and 25% subtle Prithvi or earth, like that. So they are saying the world is nothing but this combination of these three. Just like scientists say, world is a combination of protons, electrons, and neutrons. So all combinations of these three. Now, section 4, which we started last week, says he's trying to tell his son, Uddalaka is the teacher, Svetaketu is the student. He's telling his son, now I will explain to you how you can work yourself back. Because the world is in you. So first now you got your attention that world and I. I is infinite presence consciousness. In that, appearance has taken place. How do we undo the appearance? You take what you see, which is called effects. So what is the Sthola Sarira? is nothing but the three grassified elements. And also Sthula Prapancha. Sthula means grass. The grass body is nothing but these three grassified elements. So also the gross world we see is nothing but three grassified elements. So just like body is made of electrons, protons and neutrons, the world is also made of electrons, protons and neutrons. You don't see them, but they are, because of them only the elements and compounds have formed. Exactly the same thing. But now they are using a logic, but in the case of science, they stop with the gross matter. They don't have concept of subtle elements. In the context of Vedanta, even electrons, protons, neutrons are also gross subtle matter. So now you go back. So now they give an example using a nyaya. The nyaya is, if you take a grain of rice and check it out, you know the whole pot full of rice is cooked. That is the technique it uses. So it's called Stali Pulaka Nyaya. In a vessel full, the stali means pot, and the rice is there cooked. To check it out, if you take one and you taste it, and if it cooked, and you take one more, like that, 4 examples they give. And they say, using these, you can go back and then recognize there is subtle world behind it. And he says, in whatever the world you see, whatever is red, we covered this last week, I'm just summarizing it, is because of the fire element. Suppose you see fire, actual fire, there is a red part of it is because of the fire element. There is a white part of it is because of the white apaha. Apaha means water element. There is a black part of it. In every fire you see black, in a wick you see black part first. And that is because of the earth element. So, in truth, the fire that you see outside is nothing but made of three subtle elements. Then what is subtle? Is the subtle body. So in you, the world is there now. Based upon a subtle body condition, you see the colors outside. And then same example is given using the sun. Sun has spots of whiteness, some sections of redness, some sections of spots of blackness. Now various combinations will come, next will come. So sun is also nothing but these three elements. There is no sun outside these three elements combined. There is no salt outside of protons, neutrons, electrons. In the same way, logic is very similar. But you are not looking at electrons, protons, and neutrons. You are not a physicist. Vedanta is saying it is actually in you. Your mind is seeing this thing. Because you are dissecting and then you are mixing it up and then you are forgetting where it is coming from. It's coming from you as a subtle body. You are seeing it, but you are not, you are only seeing outside, that's all. The mind, subtle, then same thing, example is given, Chandrama. Chandrama has some white spots, and some black spots, and also some red spots. So all the world, he's saying, is just made of these three colors, but white and dark, mixture of these two, red is given something in the middle, whatever you choose. Vibhyar, if you can say, all colors are possible only because of white. Rest of them are mixtures. They just appear in different shades. Red is taken in the middle as though for our purposes as an example. Yeah, all the other colors are possible because of that combination. Then final example they gave this, we covered this up to last week. Final example they gave is the lightning. It also has three colors. So basically what the teacher is telling is world is made of these three elements by grassification, and then you have forgotten where it came from. Then the grassification is only possible when you can see the subtle. So first learn to see the subtle elements and then recognize the subtle element is in you, your mind. And then where is the mind? In consciousness. Go back to Brahman. So this is the Apavada. Doesn't matter whether five elements or three elements, doesn't matter. Or 12. New particles theories and all something. Those things are details. But fundamentally speaking, it came out of the subtle body. Drusti Srusti. Drusti is possible because of the subtle body. Observer, without observer, observed is not there. Go back, turn towards the observer, the world itself becomes dependent on you. The world does not exist outside the observer's projection on it. Okay. Then next question. After these four examples are given, he will now explain further how our great ancestors in his family have seen this world like this and were able to work themselves back. This is a very powerful statement. So that is how we have to learn to use this teaching. See the world as a window to you, yourself. Here a question comes. Okay, I will tell a little bit later to make it simple. Let us go to mantra number 5. We did up to 4 mantras. I just gave a quick summary. Now we go to fifth mantra. Yes. ये तद्धस्मा वै तद्विद्वां स आहुः पूर्वे महाशालाः महाश्रोत्रियाः ननोद्य कश्चन श्रुतम् अमतम् अविज्ञातम् उदाहरिष्यति इति एतद्धस्मा वै तद्विद्वागुं स आहुः पूर्वे महाशालाः महाश्रोत्रियाः ननोद्य कश्चन श्रुतम् अमतम् अविज्ञातम् उदाहरिष्यति इति. Okay. So I Mahashalaha Maha, this is in the mantra, the Visarga is not there, but Visarga gets lopa if Aval follows it. But I chanted it. That's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So this process, etat tat etat, this process of isolating and discovering yourself in the universe and realizing world is in you through Sushma Sarira. Etat, tat, etat, this process. Vidvamsaha, Purve Vidvamsaha, Mahashalaha, Mahasrotriyaha, Asma. Vidvansa, Asma. They knew it. Purve Mahashalaha. Mahashalaha indicates those who have big Pakashala or Yajnashala. Pakashala means big cooking facilities. So, Grahasthas. So it is not necessarily you have to be a renunciate. In fact, specifically it said Pakasala because Uddalaka himself is a Grihastha and his son is also Brahmachari, of course, but he is also looking to a teacher who is a Grihastha. So keeping that in mind, Grihastha, and so then he highlights that not only they are Mahasrotriyaha, they understood the message of Vedas, Purva and Uttara Bhaga. Purva Bhaga and Uttara Bhaga. Uttara Bhaga is Vedanta Shastra. This is what these Upanishads, Vedantonam Upanishad. What is the purpose of Upanishad? To reveal who you are. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. Jivo Brahmaiva na aparaha. So to isolate you, yourself, from your own projections, Upanishad makes a teaching. So our people, Mahasrotriyaha, they knew. Vidvamsa Asma. They knew this. Purve. What? Adya. Even now, Kashchana, nobody in our family, Asrutam, Amatam, Avijnatam, na. They did not, nobody in our family had a problem with not knowing, not hearing everything, not thinking of everything, avijnatam, not knowing everything. In the very beginning itself, he said, the very question in the beginning itself, by knowing which you know everything that has to be heard, thought, and known. So he's connecting with that. If you understand this process of isolating gross and merging that into subtle, and then subtle into yourself, apavada, then you would be like our forefathers. Because they all knew everything. Anything that has to be heard, everything that has to be thought of, anything that has to be known, they all knew. How Hebhyo Vidan Chakruhu. Through this process of these three appearing as gross and working backwards, they figured it out. They all knew. So that essentially is telling if we use this process, we can isolate what appears in you from what you are. And then you remain in what you are, and then you are essentially find absolute peace. Because what you see as limited is only appearance in you. Earlier I said I will tell later, I will tell now. How it works is, when I said mithya is nothing but a reflection, appearance in you. What is the conditions of, what is the status of the reflection compared to you? Suppose I have my face, I'm looking at the mirror. The reflection has no reality outside of me. Whatever happens to the reflection doesn't affect me. If you remove the reflection, I still remain. Reflections can be many, depending upon how many mirrors are there, but original is only one. That's exactly how creation takes place. God is one existing consciousness, all pervading. In Him, depending upon our samskaras and vasanas, we are different reflections, including our body. Here a question comes. This is what I was going to explain. But all pervading, you are saying God is all pervading, but I am only limited. I am here. I am only at one place. Because of that, only I am using Zoom. True. But what Vedanta is saying is it's like a space is everywhere. We know, yes. And within there, suppose you put a pot full of water, let us say. Now you say part space, but no, that is your mind now. Your mind is telling part space. Space is always there. Just part has appeared there, and then part space has come into your mind. Exactly, consciousness is all pervading everywhere. You are in I am in consciousness. I can see, if I see as consciousness, you and I collapse into all pervading oneness, just like that space. Now the reflection is in the water, that is subtle body. When the subtle body identifies with the space in it, then it becomes all pervading. But if it identifies with the part, it becomes grassified space. Then becomes parichinna. So world is in you because you have identified the limitations of the space within the part, forgetting space was even there before the part came there. This is beautifully explained by Bhagavan in Chandogya Upanishad. Basic idea is reflection can be many, but original face is one. And all the reflections are like part spaces. And they are conditioned by the condition of the water, condition of the part. But it's possible right now if we shift our attention to our true presence and consciousness. Then our thoughts come from there, that is subtle body. And then thoughts become grassified as matter, as body. But these were only appearances in you. It's extremely important. Subtlety, and then be yourself. And then you realize you are all pervading. Until you think you are this body. You're all pervading until you have a thought relative to your past and present and future. That is why drushti, srushti. Jiva is drushti, effect of drushti, srushti. And world is also like that. The moment you think you are that space, all pervading space, which is right now possible if you drop conditioned, look at it as yourself as that pure being and presence. And that is Sat and Chit. All pervading Chit, all pervading Sat. When you split it, my Sat, I am the part. Your Sat. My consciousness, your consciousness. You split it now. You have to withdraw into oneness, like space. Then the part space will collapse into total space. Consciousness is nothing but basically Chidakasa, all pervading oneness. It's in your hands, but you have to pay attention. So this Upanishad is telling you how to go there. It is telling that is what all our great people have done. The water becomes pure, reflection is so clear, your mind shifts to yourself. And that's where you find yourself. That's where the example fails. The example fails because when you turn yourself into yourself through this logic that you are the cause, and then your Sushma Sarira is the cause. So basically, the grassified elements are the cause of grassified world. Number one. Grassified world and grassified elements are effects from subtle elements. And subtle elements are the effects from Chit, Sat Chit Anand. Once you know the original cause, all the effects dissolve as you. So science stops at the matter. They don't have the concept of subtle body. Whereas Vedanta says matter is also appearance in the observer. Without the observer, world is not there. Very clear. Pramata is needed for prameya. Without you, your dreams are not there. Without you, your karana sarira, deep sleep is not there. Without you, your body awareness is not there. Very simple. Just drop it. Use some clarity, some logic. Without my thoughts, my body is not there. Yes, yeah. Did you know in a deep sleep you have a body, you have a mind? Simple. It's based upon experience. Vedanta is based upon experience. Logic by Mahavapur. Conscious entity has to precede any observation in the world, including the cosmos. There must be somebody who has said that this is there, moon is there. Without a person telling it's not there. Mars, stars, somebody has to tell it. Hebhyo Vidan Chakruhu, our great forefathers, until now. So indirectly he's telling even I know it. Using this logic, they have went back to the pure self. The Vidvansaha, they have become that. So he's going to summarize in number 5 what has been said. Let us go to mantra number 5. Mantra number 5. I think mantra number 6, I'm sorry. Yes, mantra number 6. यदु रोहितमिव अभूत इति तेजः तद्रूपमिति विदान तद्विदान चक्रुः यदु शुक्लमिव अभूत इति अपागुं रूपमिति तद्विदान चक्रुः यदु कृष्णमिव अभूत इति अन्नस्य रूपमिति तद्विदान चक्रुः. Let me do that seventh mantra also. Because I will read once again, right? Second time. Yadu Rohit, okay. Yadu Rohitamiva Abhutiti Tejaha Tadrupamiti Tadvidan Chakruhu. Yadi Suklamiva Abhut iti Apagum Rupamiti Tadvidan Chakruhu. Yadu Krishnamiva Abhut iti Annasya Rupamiti Tadvidan Chakruhu. Second time. So now let's go to seventh mantra. Yada Vijnatam Ivabhut एतासाम एव देवानागम समास इति तद्विदान चक्रुः यथानु खलु सौम्य अस्तिस्रो देवताः पुरुषं प्राप्य त्रिवृत्ति त्रिदेकैका भवति तन्मे विजानीहि इति. I will read again. यद अविज्ञातम इवाभूत एतासाम एव देवतानागम समास इति तद्विदान चक्रुः यथानु खलु सौम्य सौम्य इमान तिस्रो देवताः पुरुषं प्राप्य त्रिवृत्ति उर्देकैका भवति तन्मे विजानीहि इति. Okay. Now Mantra number 6, it kind of summarizes the first four mantras, first five mantras. What is a Edu Rohitam Eva Abhut? Anything you see as red. Tejaha tad durupamiti tad vidan chikruhu. It is a product of the subtle tejas. So scientists also says combination of green, blue, and red, I think, creates all the colors. But here Vedanta is saying all possible colors, the humans or non-humans, whatever is all infrared, ultraviolet, all these things, they are nothing but light and darkness combined. That light redness is taken as a something that indicate others between white and black, just indication of something in the middle. You can take it like that. All intensities are possible if white only is light only. Even ultraviolet is also light only. We cannot see, but Vedanta says everything is made of these three colors because we can only see those. Even otherwise, you can extend it. Because white and dark includes all possibilities. Last week I mentioned everything is combination of light and dark. That's all. For example, here you say, oh, there is no dark. Now I increase the intensity of the light I'm using, then you can see more light there. So darkness was there. You just could not see, that's all. So here is saying, using this logic, everything red is nothing but a product of the elemental tejas. Anything white is product of elemental water. Anything black is product of elemental earth. Tad Vidan Chukru. Our, our, our forefathers and all the Srotriyas, they knew. Mahashrotriyas, they figured it out. The process of going back to the. And then, as mentioned in section 3, it is mentioned how it came out and then we are going back. Apavada. Mantra number 7, I will explain now. Yad avijnatam ivabhut etasam eva devanagam samasahita dvanchakru. Sometimes it's not clear. I don't see any redness in this. I don't know. I don't see redness. White I see. I don't. Sometimes it's not clear. Yat avijnatam ivabhut etasam devanagam samasa. It is some kind of a samasa. It's some kind of a mixture that is not obvious to us. So I don't see protons, neutrons, and electrons. I don't. Because it's a mixture. When a mixture has taken place, some examples may be given, but you cannot apply to all possibilities. But scientists are saying it is electrons and protons. Not only that, they are saying it is energy, one. They are just turning at different speeds, and then matter appears by energy. Whole universe is nothing but energy. Here they are combined with subtle body in the mind. So if sometimes, so this is the question that might come into people's mind, but it's too simple. Yeah. Sometimes you don't see color. Yes. Even then cases, Vedanta is answering, it is not as clear. That's all it is. Just like, protons and neutrons are more clear than energy. Water, drinking water is more clear than protons and neutrons. Table salt is more clear, but they are protons and neutrons only. They are saying, he's saying the same thing. Sometimes more clear, sometimes not clear. Still, it is these three elements only. Then, being a father, he thought, let me give him a little bit more help. So he says, Yatha nu khalu saumya iman tisro devataha purusham prapya त्रिवृत्तिर उदय उदय त्रिवृत् वृत् एकैका भवति तन्मे विजानीहि. See, this is even for us a little bit too much. In the beginning, electron, proton, neutron was too much for us. After repeating, reading, examining, having questions, voices, and then writing essays, it was slowly. We say it is the fundamental particles which combine the world, which combine to cause the world. The same way, this father knew, okay, maybe I might have gone too fast. So he's saying, hey, Saumya means a dear boy. Saumya means a gentle boy. Once in a while, he keeps saying, hey, Saumya. Hopefully, he's looking at his son, and then, oh, his son is responding with open eyes. Then, okay, good. Let's go. Like that, maybe. Hey, Saumya. Tisro Devataha. Here, Tisro Devata actually refers to the grass body, the grassified fire, grassified water, and grassified earth. How these three entering Purusha means the grass body here, not the Purusha in Purnatvat Purusha, not this physical body, grass. How they each one of them modify themselves and create you, I will explain. The Upanishad proceeds in a very scientific way. And it actually takes you to a process. How you die is also happening. You lose these things in a sequence. So this very beautiful process. It is always going in a way, as I mentioned in the fair, you got you adhyaropa apavada. This is the logic. You are trying to remove your mind out of the what you think you are. And you are always keeping the background, there is Brahman, there is Brahman, there is Brahman. That is going to help you to keep on moving forward. So, mantra number mantra number 7 is telling the student to help you further. I am going to tell you how this grossified matter enters you and creates you. Once you get that clarity, you again go back. Okay? So, with this, we'll go to fifth section. It's a very important section. It is actually forms basis 5, 6, and 7. They are doing Tatpada Vichara, the Vichara of the world and you. Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. This is what is going on. These three captions. Then section number 8 connects you with Brahman in a very nice way. Okay. Annamashitam त्रेधा विधीयते तस्य यः स्थविष्ठो धातुः तत्पुरुषं भवति यो मध्यमस्थ मांसं यो अनिस्थः तन्मनः अन्नमसितं त्रेधा विधीयते तस्य यः स्तविष्ठः धातुः तत्पुरीशं भवति यो मध्यमः तन्मांसं यो अनिस्थः तन्मनसः. Okay, let's do this. So he's explaining now how you are formed from the grassified matter. Annam asitam. Food that we eat, that we ate, that is eaten, asitam, eaten. Tredha vidhiyate is divided into three parts. This is the only Upanishad that goes into scientifically trying to lead you back with nice, clear examples. So the food we eat is divided into three parts by the system that God has created. Actually, next chapter will let you how it happens. He explains next section. यः स्तविष्ठः धातुः तत्पुरुषं भवति. Dhatu means the component. So the food you have eaten is divided into three components. Vidhiyate. Out of those, that is grossest. Tat purisham bhavati. Purisham means mala, or the one which we discard. As reject from our solid reject out of our anus. That's called purisham, mala. So grossest food becomes rejected as mala, as purisham in Sanskrit. Yo madhyamaha tat mamsam mansam. So it's actually the food is divided into three parts. One part is rejected as gross matter, and then what is the middle is subtler than gross. Minimal, that is becomes our mamsa. Mamsa means our flesh. Yo anistha tanmana. The finest of the matter that we ate is all developed in the system and it goes into as the manas, as the intellect and mind. Our habit is to show here, but actually here. Heart is the center of the consciousness. Mind arises from consciousness. Scientists say here, because they are looking at the electrical pulses. Consciousness, subtle body is not electrical pulses. It is much more pervasive and entry to the consciousness. It is matter, because it's not subtlest matter that we ate is becomes manas. Okay, let us do the second mantra and third mantra also. I think we have time. These are some, I will explain more. Okay, second, okay. Apaha pita त्रेधा विधीयन्ते तासां यः स्थविष्ठः धातुः तन्मूत्रं भवति यो मध्यमः तल्लोहितं यो अनिष्टः स प्राणः. I will read again. आपः पीता पीताः त्रिधा विधीयन्ते तासां यः स्थविष्टः धातुः तन्मूत्रं भवति यो मध्यमः तल्लोहितं यो अनिष्टः स प्राणः. Let us do one more mantra. Okay. तेजो अशितं त्रेधा विधीयते तस्य यः स्थविष्टः धातुः तद अस्ति भवति यो मध्यमः स मज्जा यो अनिष्टः स वाक्. तेजो असितं त्रेधा विधीयते तस्य यः स्थविष्टः धातुः तत् अस्ति भवति यो मध्यमः स मज्जा यो अनिष्टः स वाक्. Okay. So, आपः पीता. Water that is drunk again is divided into three components: gross, middle, and subtle. The gross part is discarded as urine. Okay, so the subtle parts are actually extracted from it. Just like when you churn milk, you get subtle part out. You actually, that example comes in next section. And then when madhyama, it becomes lohita means blood. Blood. And then subtle part in the water becomes prana. That vitalizes the gross part. Mind, jnana shakti. Prana, kriya shakti. It comes from where? Matter only. What we consume. They are not related to consciousness. In the presence of consciousness, they oscillate. When you die, subtle body goes with you. So the gross part becomes urine, middle part becomes blood, and finest part becomes prana. Next section gives examples. Annamahim, then Tejaha Asitam, this is third mantra. Tejaha Asitam Tredha Vidhiyate. Tredha Vidhiyate. The fire principle that's the fire, grossified fire, here I will explain, taken in, just like water and annam, grossified. Here, fire here indicates like ghee, oils. Commentators have explained that. Otherwise, we will not know. It's represented by liquids, oils, ghee, like that. They becomes also split into three components. The grossest part becomes bones. See, important, fire is most important actually. None of it is wasted. That's why in the olden times they used to drink a lot of ghee. Now scientists are saying ghee is good. For a long time they said it's not good. Yo madhyamaha sa majja. This middle part becomes marrow within the bones. It is subtler than bones, but it is important. Marrow is important, bone marrow. Subtlest part becomes walk, speech. So if you drink, in the olden days, those who study Veda, They sell you have to drink a lot of ghee. They used to give them extra ghee. Then he summarizes. Fourth mantra, of course, we only have 3 more minutes. So I will just summarize what we learned today. See, the process of the apavada is going on. Apavada means removing what you superimposed on yourself. And Shastra is intentionally superimposed that the world is created through three elemental. And then it's saying those three elemental form the gross and subtle bodies. And they themselves can be worked backwards, and then you can identify yourself as every opportunity is a window to look to into yourself. Every thought is a window to look to yourself. Thought of object outside or inside is a window to go back to your pure presence and consciousness. That is basic teaching. And then even the gross body is also created from the gross elements. That includes what we discard physically in the gross way, and then our mind, and mansa, flesh. So how the grass is formed from those three grass. And the prana, apa, water, urine, and then blood, and then prana. So everything you have is actually coming from these gross elements. And how the gross elements are coming? Subtle. And then work backwards. So you are nothing but made of these gross elements and all the parts. And then finally it also talked about fire element. It is creates your bones and bone marrow and walk. Mantra number 4 actually Annamayim Somya Mana Apomaya Pranaha Tejomaya Vagiti Bhuye. It's basically saying everything is nothing but these grassified elements that you see because they're gross and the combination of them. Then they are made of subtle. So simply because I am something unique, no, you are not. You are actually made of the matter that Bhagavan has created and then combined and then supplying to you. And then you're just owning it. Once the clarity dawns, it only happens through clarity and then dropping the identification. That none of it is you. He's doing a process and creating you, but you are owning it. A process is going on without your knowledge. All these are forming by a mechanism that's working behind. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om